Hello everyone, my name is Benji, and welcome back to Dyson Sphere program, where last time we finished up our solar sail build. I'm pretty sure that was last time we did solar sails, and I actually added in a little more of these solar sails because we need some in our production for the actual Dyson Sphere components. We need solar sails in order to make the Dyson Sphere components, which is a major component of the small carrier rocket. So I went on ahead and added in a couple of more buildings here. I hit the wrong buttons again. I added in another circuit board production and another photon combiner production, and then I just added in the extra 30 per second that we need for the legitimate solar sails, and those get shipped off to the other galaxy solar system whatever grouping thing that we need to end up making everything. And the other thing that we're going to be doing, which is today's objective, is Proliferation Mark III and a little bit of expansion. So right here we have 18 per second of our lovely green Mark II proliferation, but we want more. We're going to make 30 per second so that we can make 15 per second of the Proliferation Mark II. And that's as simple as just taking this design that we have right here, bringing it up to another little area here. I think that's probably good. And we'll go on ahead and do that. What am I missing? I am missing inserter Mark IIs. Do I even have inserter Mark IIs being imported? I know for a fact that I don't. So this is how we end up doing this lovely thing here. And we can upgrade them all to blue inserters, Mark III inserters, if you would like to call them that. Just like that. And then we can put in some drones. And it looks like we are out of Mark III belts as well. That's not an issue. Just go back to the hub and grab them. I still don't know where everything is, forgive me. A bunch. And that goes on ahead and fixes everything for us. Yep. And now we can focus on a little bit of a design for the Mark IIIs. And the Mark IIIs I'm going to design around being probably 15 per second. It would be 30 machines to do 15 per second. Divide that way, it would end up being 15 machines for 7.5 machines. No, 15 machines for 7.5 per second. And that's just rough numbers because we get one of these every 2 seconds for twice the amount of the actual Proliferator Mark IIs, which is why we want more of them. So first of all, we're going to need some titanium in order to make the carbon nanotubes. So I'm going to go on ahead and tap both of these titanium nodes right here, just very simply. Not really doing anything super fancy for those, just literally putting them right there. And then we can come up here and design our proliferation build, probably. So let's go on ahead and let's put that there. It's gonna need, what's your problem? What zone are you in? What zone is that? It's not telling me. Oh, it's the Goldilocks system. That's fine. That's not a problem. I just went and alarmed the other one. Ooh, actually, hang on a second. These produce faster. So if we use these, 1.5 times the speed, 30 machines divided by 1.5 should be 20. Let me do that quick math. Yes, it is 20 machines. Fantastic. So that's actually going to be even simpler than I thought. But we are going to need Proliferation Mark II, Carbon Nanotube, and then the Proliferator Mark III. And we're only getting 15 per second out, which means we only need, I say only, but we need 15 per second of our carbon nanotubes coming in. And we have our one blueprint here, that's the alternate recipe, this one, planetary nanotubes. It's 12 of these machines, and with the base recipe, 1 every 2 seconds, that's 6 per second, so we would need a lot of those. So I'm gonna end up making another big ol' Mark II blueprint, our new endgame blueprint book. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the other side, just same exact thing. I'm gonna go on ahead and get both of these designs out of the way. You've seen our titanium smelting, so I'm gonna set that up as well after I get some more titanium mining, and I will show you guys what the Proliferation Mark III looks like once it's flowing. And with that, we have our new carbon nanotube design. This carbon nanotube design, with the exception of one very intriguing inserter, and some belts not being connected properly, evidently. Any other problems that I can't see at the moment? Nope, I guess that's it. This design right here will give us a whopping, let me see, 3, 6, because it's 1 every 2, so 3, 6, 9, 12. Oh, I made it too big. Well, that's easy for me to fix. Oops. Yeah, I made it too big. It's supposed to only do 12. And then I was looking at it and I'm like, that looks a lot larger than 12, so let me double count that, and I messed up. That's my bad. That's my bad. I'm gonna fix it here and actually blueprint it into the blueprint book properly for you guys. Link in the description for my blueprints, by the way, if you're interested. They are completely free. Nothing is required of you for that at all. So feel free to go mess around with my blueprints and tell me if any of them are broken. But this does 12 carbon nanotubes per second. And now that we have 12 nanotubes per second, we only needed 15. But I went on ahead and made 12. Now what we can do is set this to demand, set this to demand, and then remove these and set them to demand and put it back down to 500. And I'll do that for the rest of these as well as I'm talking here. But now we have 15 per second Proliferation Mark II, which will be utilized here and throughout the galaxy. Oh, it's not self-proliferating yet. Ooh, that's a problem that I just realized. Yeah, it's not self-proliferating. Allow me to fix that slight blunder on my end. And by slight, I mean actually quite massive blunder on my end. I should have known, and I should have paid more attention. That's my fault entirely. Oof. Oh well. Whatever is currently using it will be fine, and whatever is not currently using it will also be fine. And then self-proliferation is really easy. All you have to do is set that as the priority output, and then you are good. Because now this can have, I'll put it to 2000 and make it remote and local supply. Transport range of vessels is infinite, as is the other one. And then we are also going to request warpers because of the fact. Why no warpers? Why no warpers? Ah, it has no power. That's fine. That's also a really easy fix. And there we have it. That is fixed. It is self-proliferating. We can have this proliferation now throughout the entirety of our galaxy, and our star systems will be very hungry for proliferation. Now, Proliferation Mark III does last a little bit longer. It's got 60 times for the spray, and it gives a lot of extra products. So very, very good, because number of sprays 28 times, and that was just the basic one. The actual boosted one is 75 sprays, so more than twice the amount of sprays for this proliferation, which is absolutely and entirely fantastic. It gives even more extra products, 25% extra products. Little bit of extra speed up as well, but that's if we, actually do it. And we're not gonna actually do that. We're just gonna do the extra products, and then it does have 150% energy consumption, so more than double the energy consumption for this, which is a little expensive, I will admit. However, I definitely think that it is worth it, no doubt in my mind that that is worth it. Where did I put that blueprint, by the way? Over here. I have stuff I need to dump off in there. Perfect. So now that that is done, the next order of business for us today in our journey is expansion. If we look back home at Goldilocks, our system that has everything, we are running out of optical grating crystals, and we are running out of spiniform stalagmite crystals, and that is really, really, really bad. So I'm going to look around. There's some spiniform stalagmite crystals. That'll probably be where we start getting those now. And then Gaycrux has some optical grating crystals. We'll go and grab those and send them back to Assad Astralis. And we're probably going to end up using my planetary ring design and some of my solar sail launching designs in order to power both of these new systems, Lambda Muscae and Gaycrux. And then the next order of business is actually going to be visiting this neutron star and getting some of these unipolar magnets, because the only other area that we can get those unipolar magnets is all the way out here at this black hole, and it is 34 light years away, versus this one is only 16 light years away, literally twice the distance. So I'm gonna go on ahead and visit, I think, the black hole first, because that seems really, really cool. And then we will be visiting our other friendly neighborhood systems after that as well. So I will be back. I'm gonna plot a course and just go on ahead and get there. See you in a second. We're approaching now. That's pretty. That is a really, really pretty shade of purple. Not gonna lie. That's pretty awesome. And it is an ice planet. Let's take a look at that nice purple. At that. Whoa. It's weird looking. It's really weird looking. That's awesome. That is super cool. Alright, I need to actually mark where I'm starting this. That is so awesome. Ooh, music. I'm gonna turn that up. I've never heard that music before. That's cool music. And then what do the unipolar magnets look like? I've never found them, by the way. Like, unipolar magnets are something that I've never really invested my time in my previous playthroughs. There they are. Is that all of them? No, there's a couple of veins. Ooh, look at them. They're like spiky. Alright, let's go this way so that we can get to them faster. Listen to that music. That's awesome. And look at that. Teeny, teeny, itty bitty, tiny star out there. The little itty bitty purple thing. It really illuminates the planet really well, but the luminosity kind of sucks, so I almost don't really want to have to do solar sails. I feel like it would be a waste of sails. Although I could do it like a decorative sail kind of rig. More decorative planning than anything else. Because of the fact that it has a really bad luminosity and I just want it to look purple. Like I could have purple solar sails surrounding this thing. Unipolar magnet. Rarest things in the universe. Magnetic monopoles, from which magnetic monopoles can be separated under a magnetic field. Okay, so magnetic monopoles do not exist. If you hear somebody say, yeah, dude, you know, I've got a magnet, it's really cool, it's got a monopole instead of a dipole, they're lying to you. It's not possible. You cannot have a magnetic monopole. It is literally not possible at all for you to have a magnetic monopole. So, this is like future technology, like future. We're gonna jack this down, I think to 500. Yeah, 500. Technically 1,000. But we are going to remote demand our space warpers so that we can actually warp these back and forth, local demand remote supply style. And it looks like that is limited by our production, not our drones. Good, that's what we want. And I completely missed these. I completely overlooked these guys. I think we'll probably only tap like 3 of these for right now. I think 3 of them will provide enough throughput for what we're using it for, and what I mean by what we're using it for is we are using it specifically for the upgraded plane smelter furnace. We're not going to be using it in the alternate recipe of the particle container, because the particle container requires graphene, which is really, really easy to get. I mean, it's just fire ice, and with ice giants, we have an unlimited amount of that. And then the green magnets, which are literally just iron and copper. And there's too much of that in the universe, so we don't need it for anything other than just the one recipe. So we're only going to be using it for the one recipe. And this one's literally free. It's right here, so I guess we'll go on ahead and grab this one too, and any others like this one that are just kind of right in our path. But then after this, also this is the only planet here. That's it. That's the only planet. After this, we're gonna make our way back through Gay Crux, which only has 2 planets and a gas giant. Good to know. And then we will be going to, not this one, Lambda Muscae, in order to grab the Spiniform Stalagmite. And if I had to take a guess, the Spiniform Stalagmite is going to be on a water world. So you're going to see why we have so much soil, and why we have not been using soil that much. Trust me, it's going to make sense very, very, very soon. But I'll be back with that in just a second. And that is the 1 planet conquered, Gay Crux number 3 for our optical grating crystals, and I do have it set to local demand remote supply with the warpers on remote demand, currently being utilized by the look of it. And next up for us is going to be... Where'd it go? 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 Go. Lambda Muscae. There it is. And number 2, the water world for our Spiniform stalagmite crystals. So let's go on ahead and warp over there, and that'll be next. And here we are, and you can see why we need all of that stuff. What are you? Oh, it's a Spiniform stalagmite. Let me guess, is it Goldilocks? It is Goldilocks. Figures. But you can see, just by looking at this planet, it's covered in water. And not only is it covered in water, all the resources are underwater. It's fantastic. So, no such thing as a planetary blueprint on this one. We're not doing a ring because that would be way too expensive on both my soil and on my foundation. It would be way too expensive. But you can also see the crude oil is fantastic here. We're not going to bother with it, but it is fantastic here. So what we are looking for is a couple of closely grouped nodes with high yield. And honestly, I think these 3 would work perfectly. Oh. Were you 2 stuck on that other planet that whole time? Yeah, these 3 right up here. And I have some foundation. You can already see, like, look at the soil cost. 35,000. Just for that little tiny plonk right there. Also, autosaves are starting to take a while because we've got a lot of processing going on. So this is why we have so much soil, and why with so much soil we have not been using any of it, because stuff like this is going to drain us of all of our soil. We started at like 5 mil, I want to say, roughly. And that's just the mining platforms. Now we need a platform for our actual power and our actual, like, transferring of things. Which luckily we'll be able to do that pretty much on one singular platform, because I'm going to put this here. And that'll allow us to place our advanced mining machines kind of around a little bit. Like that, and that. And then what we're going to do here, we are going to local demand remote supply with this. And then we are going to request warpers coming in. Remote demand, local storage. And then jack this up. Put you there and you there. And then we are also going to request antimatter fuel rod. Remote demand, local storage. And I don't know why it's not coming. That's a problem I might have to sort out. Because that is a very large problem, actually. Because we need that in order to make power on this planet. Like, that's not a luxury. We need antimatter fuel for this. Because I'm even doubting 4 artificial stars being able to handle this, and we're not using ray receivers, so, like, slightly concerning. And by slightly, I mean extremely concerning. I'll have to investigate that in a second, but I'm actually out of time for right now, so future Benji will get back to you. And it's been like a second for you, but it's been like 2 days for me. So hello from future Benji / for you guys past Benji. I know it gets confusing. We're operational. The issue with the antimatter was the fact that I did not I did not put drones, the logic vessels, in the port back home for that. So that was a problem. Also, we are very quickly running out of stuff in our Goldilocks system, which means that it is a very, very good thing that we ended up doing this. We are at 83,000 Spiniform in Goldilocks, and we are at 157,000 for the optical grating crystals, which is a really good thing that we decided to go on ahead and tap, you know, the beginning of an 18 million. And where was the other one? Here. And about 1 million optical grating crystals in order to properly supply our homeworld of Assad Australis, which we're actually going to go back to now. We're going to go back to the system, and we're just going to see what's going on and if we might be able to do something involving our Dyson sphere and actually getting that finished, because it's currently in like a half-done state. Sadly, I can probably go find it. Oh my goodness. No, not Goldilocks. Assad Australis. Yeah, you can see the plan, and you can see how much of it is actually done, and really, there's not a lot of it done, sadly. So, we're just kind of going to check on things here and see what's going on. See what systems are drying up, what systems are not drying up. We might end up doing some more industrial smelting, because I know for a fact that we are all out of iron and almost all out of copper and running out of stone as well. So, some things to keep in mind for us. Also, apparently this is not fast enough. Huh. And here I figured it would be faster. Well, that's intriguing. Okay, well, good to know. What is lacking? Is anything lacking right now? I think because of the fact that it's actually not in production at all, it's not lacking at all. Of course, both of these systems are full. I don't know how to keep that from happening. There's no, like, logic in this game. Like, in Factorio, you can set circuit conditions in order to actually have specific resources only apply at specific times, versus in this game, that's not a possibility. You can't do that. You can't say, if we reach a certain number of this component, then don't, you know, produce any more of this other component, which I kind of really like about Factorio. The fact that I can limit specific builds, so that instead of having it be like capped by this, what I could do with the hydrogen is I could say, if this hydrogen gets below 2,500, request more hydrogen, and then have the cap still be at 5,000. But nothing we can really do about that, sadly enough. We just kind of have to rely with what we're given. At one point in time, I did come over this way. I think it was over here. Yeah. And I added in another titanium alloy smelter, as well as, I think, yes, I did do another sulfuric acid setup as well, with the water and everything. So our titanium alloy should be flowing a lot better in order to make our large platforms, aka the frame material, because I always call that the wrong thing. Oh my, look at the stone. We're gonna need to start importing stone like ASAP. Oof. That's rough. That is absolutely rough. Am I even using all the stone? Yeah, there's the rest of it. It's up there. So I guess let's go on ahead and let's turn back on our Dyson sphere production. Here it is. Let's go on ahead, set this to local demand and local demand. That's a problem. Where's all of our deuterium fuel? What's your problem? Oh, a lack of deuterium. Well, that means that this is not, in fact, fine. So what do we do about that? I really do. I wish there was a way that I could get this to not do that. I think maybe the way that we do that is min load of vessels 10%, because I tried to dip it down to 50, and that obviously didn't work. If 10 doesn't work either, then that's 10%. 10% of a logic vessel is 1,000? No, the cargo space is 1,000. What? I'm so confused. Well, I guess that's minimum load, not maximum load, so I suppose that does make sense, that it'll go grab 1,000, but it doesn't need to go grab 1,000. It only needs to go grab enough to fill this up. I don't get it. No, I don't get that. I don't get that at all. I really don't. See, and now this one is gonna stop up again because it literally can't do that. Alright, fine. Storage, buff, and storage buff. And that'll just run through all the hydrogen. I'll keep an eye on it, and it'll eventually be fine, I guess. I can't really think of anything else to do in that regard. And it looks like we are, in fact, getting our small carrier rockets back up and running. That is good. And then, oof, even these are suffering. That's honestly really sad for me to see. And then this one is doing fine. I'm gonna drop the minimum load down to 10% for the drones. And same thing here, min load of drones, 10%. Just so that they can actually, like, shoot some things across a little bit better. Which I don't know why they're not. Oh, there it goes. It just did it. Okay, fantastic. I was wondering why it wasn't doing it, and then it all of a sudden did. Yeah, so it's deuterium fuel that's currently suffering, but it looks like we're getting that problem sorted, and then the frame material as well. It looks like we're getting sorted, which means that our Dyson sphere should have some carrier rockets going. Yes, there are the carrier rockets right now. And I don't know if I showed this, so I'll go on ahead and show it again to end off the episode here. But these guys go to a structure point. Looks like this one is picking a structure point way up here. This structure point. Neat. And they'll just pick a structure point and go on ahead and seat themselves in, and then you'll see that it adds into the structural integrity of this node right here, which it looks like it requires another 130 at the moment in order to fully fulfill this point. And then the cell points that are attached to it are the 480 that go into this piece here. Looks like there's more coming in all the time. Our EM rail ejectors are starting themselves back up again, which is nice to see. And we're making good progress yet again. So the only thing that I think I'm going to add at this point, and we'll also start working on some pieces next time, is some stone inward processing and some ingot smelting off planet. I think those are really the two, like, next best things that I can do for this planet. Now, the stone I'm obviously going to bring in and process on world because of the fact that we have stone and we have glass that is required, as well as the stone being utilized way over here in the oil district for our sulfuric acid setups. So we need the raw stone. Versus, we don't need the raw iron. The only thing that we need out of iron is magnets and plates and steel. And honestly, I might just keep the steel and then produce the iron and the magnets off-world and then just import them, because we're not using a ton of steel. We're only using a little bit of steel. Copper we'll do the same thing for, but we don't need to yet because we are still having a decent supply of copper here. So next time we're going to work on some smelting designs, and I'm going to have those smelting designs more than likely on Asada Astralis 2. However, due to the low amount of resources, I might end up doing that on a Sodistralis 1 instead, and then we can move into some of our other universes, or star systems over here, such as the quantum chips and Dyson components, and we can set up some smelting over there as well for our mega project. But for right now, that is going to be everything, so thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed, but without further ado, adios, sayonara, au revoir, hasta la vista, das vidania, wiedersehen, ciao, and goodbye. Please have yourselves all a fantastic rest of your day. Get some sleep if you need to. Don't forget to stay hydrated. This video is in the bag, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later, y'all.